We know a 9-year-old boy injured at the Astroworld festival is now in a medically induced coma. The boy's grandfather tells CNN that he went to see his favorite artist, Travis Scott, with his father. Now you're looking at an image of Ezra Blount from the GoFundMe his family created. Ezra was on his father's shoulders when the crowd surge began. His father ended up passing out, and Ezra fell off his shoulders into the crowd. By the time the boy's father came to, Ezra had already been transported to a hospital. His grandpa says the boy suffered cardiac arrest because he already has a damaged heart, and he also suffered damage to his brain and liver.
More than a dozen people still hospitalized after the Friday concert where 8 people were killed. Rap star Travis Scott says that he will pay for those funerals of the victims and will pay for mental health treatment for anyone who was at that show. He also says that he will offer refunds to everyone who was there. 50,000 people packed his Astroworld festival Friday night in Houston, and officials say a crowd surged towards the stage, making it hard to breathe, causing people to pass out.
And for the first time since the death, Drake is now speaking out. He was a surprise guest during the concert, and witnesses say that's when things got especially rowdy. Drake said in a statement, quote, "My heart is broken for the families and friends of those who lost their lives," and he says he'll be of service in any way that he can. The artist has been named in at least one lawsuit filed by concert goers. Our national correspondent Tammy Estwick is live this morning with new details. Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Look, this investigation is still in the beginning stages right now. We do know that investigators are going to want to look closely at the crowd, what was going on over there with possible drug use and other things. Of course, that crowd surge included in all of that. And they also want to know what Travis Scott and promoters may have seen from their vantage point on stage.
A makeshift memorial is slowly growing outside the Houston concert venue where 8 people died.
Just breathing the same air that I knew people were taking their last breaths is just wild. Like, that's just, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel real whatsoever.
This morning, as the probe into the concert grows, so do questions about what performers and organizers knew, if staffing was adequate, and what caused that crowd surge. The city's fire chief talked about that aspect of the investigation.
Seems like at some point the crowd started to surge towards the front of the stage, and that's what resulted in the injuries and the fatalities. It seems like they were trying to get as close to the stage as they could.
This as concert goers go into detail about enduring long periods where they were stuck in place.
And you could feel like everybody pushing up behind you, like you couldn't move your arms, you couldn't breathe. There was like 15 to like 20 minutes where like we weren't in control of our bodies. Like we were like literally moving with like the wave of like the people. And like it was very claustrophobic. Like I was elbowed in like the chest and the neck.
Officials have not released the cause of death of those 8 people, but medical expert Dr. Timothy Quinn says that type of force can injure bones.
What this could do is cause crush injuries to the body. It could restrict the person so that they can't breathe.
Scott maintains he didn't know what was happening.
Anytime I can make out, anything that's going on, I stop the show and help them get the help they need, I could just never imagine the severity of the situation.
Nonetheless, several lawsuits have already been filed.
And of course, the fire chief that you saw right there in that story says that everyone from the performers on down are accountable for safety at these events. But he does admit that if they would have stopped the concert, they feared a riot could have happened. Nonetheless, we still have a long way to go in this investigation.
Indeed we do, and at least 18 lawsuits have now been filed. Tammy Estwick reporting live for us. Thanks.